Darklings, lightlings, hybrids, and everyone in between. How are you today? Hope you're good. Better be good. I don't want to hear no bad news now. Okay? So, alright, today we are doing a VR to the lovely Rochelle over at Amethyst Ascension. Yes, she created a marvelous tag, darlings, a marvelous one that I am inspired by. And it is hashtag These Sounds of Tarot. I'm sure y'all have seen our shorts, right? Yeah, you know, the ones with the cards and the songs and all that. Yeah. Well, if not, I will have the playlist down in the description. So check them out so you can see what songs we're talking about here and let us know if you agree, if you don't agree, whatever. So basically, the reason I think this tag is just genius, okay, is a lot of us tend to love our cards, or we're drawn to buy a certain deck because of the art, right? They help us interpret, they help us with the readings, and they're just beautiful to look at. Well, taking forms of art and merging them into one is beautiful and creative. Songs, a lot like tarot, we all interpret differently. So you can take a song and be in a sad mood, and when you're listening to that song, you interpret it kind of as it's talking about something you may be going through, right? You can be in a happy mood and listen to that same song and interpret it completely different. And then there is, of course, the meanings that the artist meant to relay it as, whatever it means to them when they wrote it. You get what I'm saying? So putting the two together can be really telling of how a person reads or sees the cards. And if you're like me, kind of a bit of a intuitive reader as well as taking the meanings into consideration when you do readings, well, then you can interpret them in your own way. And I think I have some pretty interesting points of views when it comes to some of the cards. So keep that in mind. All right, let's get into this. I love it. This might be a two-part video because, yeah, I really love this. So I'm probably going to do more cards than what's required. I think she said, you know, pick like 10 of them from the major arcana. But I'm just going to do how many I want, okay? Okay? Sorry if this is shaking, guys. Try not to make or let that shake. All right. The first one is the Devil. Oh, all right. So for the Devil card, I chose Closer by 9 Inch Nails. Yes, I know, quite a vulgar song, quite a sexual song, quite out there, huh? Well, good. Because for me, the devil is like excess of desire, or yeah, excess of desire. And I know some of y'all are probably like, but some of the shadowy stuff or darker stuff we don't really desire. You know, we don't desire addiction or other thing. Well, don't you though? And I don't mean that in any offense. It's this is how I see it now. Humanity, okay, as a whole, and that's what tarot is, okay, archetypes of us, humanity, right? On a journey, where we are in that journey. For me, anyway. Well, I feel like humanity tends to romanticize or lean towards unconsciously self-destruction or self-destructive ways. We tend to romanticize things that consciously were a little bit mortified as romanticized. We see it everywhere. TV shows, music, all kinds of stuff. For example, take the show 13 Reasons Why. Great show. but it's essentially, I'm going to say for what it is, a suicide romanticized, right? So, why do we tend to lean towards these desires or these shadowy aspects of the self, and we don't even see the destruction coming all the time? We can get obsessive, compulsive with these desires if they go unbalanced, and it just sucks you right in. And it don't only have to be sex, like the song talks about, but I mean, it's one of many things, right? Okay, I'll shut up now about that. All right, the Star card, and I'm using the Vampires Tarot. Yes. All right, so the star, I chose a dying star by In This Moment. And for me, I chose that because the star is kind of your guiding hope, right? After that tower moment or something you're coming out of, or it can kind of be that beacon of light that gives you that breath of fresh air or whatnot. And the song A Dying Star is about somebody who saw themselves in a negative way, but uh, ended up finding their own hope within themselves to see themselves in a positive way. And that's just a beautiful song. And when I hear those lyrics, it kind of makes me think of the Star card. For the Moon card, I chose Up, Up, and Away by Juice WRLD. It was between that and Moonlight Sonata, even though he does say, you know, Moonlight Sonata in the song. Yeah, I mean, that was on purpose too by me, because I don't know, I love it, okay? But when I hear that song, I think of somebody walking underneath the moonlight, trying to figure out the mysteries of the self and the world. And I know the typical meanings to the cards, but guys, this is going off like my intuition, how I see the cards. And when the moon comes up for me, okay, we're just talking about the moon, not other cards with it. I tend to like to see what's under the surface. What is that moon reflecting back at us when we look at the moon cards from the reflections of dark waters, the hidden, the mysterious, the well of possibilities. And I also think of like Cancer energy, and yeah, so for me that song was appropriate. And next we have the Death card. And Rochelle mentioned this in hers. I think it's funny. Great minds think alike. Yes, and we are brilliant. Okay? Anyone who says otherwise, well, you know, go somewhere. But I'm in a silly mood today, guys. It's got to be the planets, energies, something's going on today, okay? Do you know how many times I had to record this too? I am so like duh and loopy, but also silly today. I'm in rare form today. But anyway, back on topic. The Death card, I chose Don't Fear the Reaper from Blue Oyster Cult. And that is because I don't look at deaths or the endings of things as a bad thing, you know? I love how in that song they talk about, you know, seasons don't fear the reaper. Like, come on, baby, don't fear the reaper. Because we shouldn't fear the endings of things. Things are ever changing like the seasons. And there is always an ending to your day, an ending to a minute, an ending to a situation, an ending to a thought. Always these endings, these mini deaths that we experience from day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year, etc. So I thought that was pretty perfect. Next, the Lovers, which I love this card. Oh my goodness. So what I chose for the Lovers was Until Eternity from Blackbriar. And that song is about her and her partner. They got some karma and they keep incarnating to find each other again. And I know the basic RWS lovers, there's like kind of that third party and like some other stuff. But uh, for this, which this is kind of off Crowley's system, I kind of see until eternity is that perfect alchemical union. And that's also based on my own spiritual beliefs as well, because I tend to see the cards for me, not like when I read for others, but see them for me. And maybe that does influence my readings a little bit, but for me, I find that appropriate. Um, but if I was to choose one, like based off the Rider Waite meanings for the lovers, I'd probably choose Blank Space by Taylor Swift. And why is because it's like, oh, well, Courtney, that ain't about a third party. That's just, a toxic couple. And well, yeah, because sometimes it's not always a actual third party. We are that third party energy coming in and getting in between or in the way of our relationship. But yes, there are many other songs I could think of for if it was an actual third party, but we're just going to go with that for now, okay? So, strength. I chose Katy Perry's Rise because, I mean, that's perfect, okay? I think that it completely talks about and symbolizes needing the strength in our lowest moments to stand up and be victorious and rise above it. And perfect. All right, next we have the Hierophant, which the Hierophant got like over 1,000 views in my shorts this morning. Like, thank you. Whoever watched that, appreciate it. Mwah. But the Hierophant, I chose Aerials by System of a Down. And the reason why is because I see the Hierophant as someone who's looking for enlightenment with teaching and learning, breaking down the old systems or status quos in order to become enlightened. And that is what that song is about. Not being so small minded and being open to seeing things around above you, and freeing yourself of those restraints of small mindedness. So, what I chose for the Hierophant. Now, for the Hermit, I chose Something in the Way by Nirvana. He wrote that song. I don't know if y'all knew this, but fun fact, Kurt Cobain. He wrote that song when he was homeless and living under a bridge. And I can picture, that seclusion. Yeah, I think that's the word I'm looking for. The seclusion of that and going into oneself, one's own mind. And the Hermit for me typically is kind of like is it called the Dark Night of the Soul? Yeah. The first time I recorded this video, I said the Dark Force, and I meant to say Dark Night of the Soul. That's what I mean. Planets. But yeah, so I see that as like that dark moment. We can only see the light in front of us. We're not seeing the bigger picture, and we're kind of going within as well for that wisdom, that guidance. So that's my Hermit. And next we have the World, and for the World I chose the song Ordinary World, which I love that song. I think it's perfect for like how we see the world, how we interpret the world around us. I know this can mean various other things, and like the world's open to you. You just gotta claim or travel or all kinds of stuff. But for me, this can also symbolize how one sees or views the world, and I thought that song was perfect for that. And we have the Hanged Man, and I chose Outside by Stained for the Hanged Man. And that is because I know this, again, has a lot of other meanings that people go by. I think of Odin when he sacrificed himself to himself on Yggdrasil, and he hung there for 9 days, 9 nights, and stared into his reflection in the water or puddle below, whichever, depends on what version you read, but in the Edda. And if you're staring at yourself and seeing yourself truly, the good, the bad, the ugly, what have you, I guess that can lead to enlightenment in many ways, right? Yeah, so. And next we have the Fool, which I chose My Name is Human by Highly Suspect. And that is because I feel like the Fool is the essence of us. Every time we restart something new, a new beginning, a journey, and essentially the whole journey the Fool takes throughout the tarot journey, right? And I think a lot of that journey is about finding out who we are. Who are we really as humankind? Because again, at the end of the day, these archetypes reflect us. And finally for this video, the Magician. And I chose Mr. Crowley by Owlsy. I was trying to say Crowley and Aussie in one word there. That's gonna be the new like cool word, Crowley. All right, Mr. Crowley by Ozzy Osbourne. I mean, I'm sure you know why. Need I say more? Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If this is messed up, I'm sorry. I'm uploading it. Deal with it because I've tried to record this. This would be the 4th time. Okay? Okay. I love you all, and I really hope you do participate in this. You know, I'd love to see how you see the tarot and what songs you can relate. And I love songs. I love music. Who doesn't? And also check the shorts playlist in the description and check out Rochelle's video. It is lovely, and thank you for making this tag.